This is a stranger at the very beginning of his life. A small, almost defenseless organism that has just been born. And this is an alien in its final form. A giant biomechanical creature towering over buildings and destroying the city. And today I'm going to simulate what would happen if you raised someone else as a pet. I will build habitats for him, feed him, introduce him to other animals, and go through all the stages of his development, from a tiny creature to an absolute monster. It's going to be crazy. But let's start from the beginning. It was 2 years ago when I picked up this unknown egg in the forest and decided to take it home. At first, I grew it in an incubator, a very small, tiny creature. Here he is, just a kid. He's sleeping now, so I'll try to wake him up. At the moment, the alien is about 4 inches tall. It has tiny, sharp teeth, small claws, thin rudiments of dorsal protrusions, and a long, flexible tail. His body is smooth, shiny, almost transparent in the light. But one day, this baby will grow into something truly gigantic. Now, it's the smallest and most harmless stage of his life. To understand what it's like to raise someone else as a pet, I'm going to simulate all their daily activities. Let's start with the toys and see how friendly he is. And now I carefully hold out my finger to him. Okay, fortunately, his teeth are still small. The bite is noticeable but not dangerous. However, later in this video, everything will change, and he will become much more dangerous. But now it's time to feed him, because he needs to grow. Here is a montage of how he tastes different foods. Let's start with the berries. Then I give him a piece of watermelon. Now let's try a pancake. And finally, a small chicken nugget. He swallows it all and washes it down with orange juice. Later in this video, his diet will become much bigger and heavier, but right now he's too small to eat much. However, the next important thing is the habitat in which he can live. I'm going to build a house for him inside this tank with everything an alien cub might need. For now, he's going to live here. But when it gets bigger, it will have to be moved to the zoo. Since the alien is able to adapt to different conditions, I will make half of the space a dry zone and half an aquatic one. While I'm building all this, I fill the sink with water so he can learn to swim. Hopefully this will keep him occupied for a while. For Sushi, I'm creating a large rock structure in the back so he can climb on it, and a cave where he can retire. I wonder what he will do there. I also add plants and mini trees to mimic his natural environment as much as possible. The front of the tank will be filled with water so that it can float. The water is shallow now, but it will grow very quickly. And now the whole habitat is complete. He has plant shelters, a place to move, a cave to sleep in, water to swim in, and space to grow. Everything looks as close to the wild as possible. I hope he feels at home. It's time to check in. The alien is slowly starting to get used to it. He explores the territory, dives into the water, crawls into a cave, hides among plants. For the next few days, he seems to be happy with this place. He finds a corner where he sleeps, allows himself to be fed with his hands. Now I'm going to see if he'll let me pet him. Despite his intimidating appearance, he allows you to gently touch his head. Over the next few days, he gets more and more used to this place. He's growing faster every day. Since he's behaving relatively calmly, I decide to introduce him to other pets to see how he reacts. First, the dog, then the cat, music. He watches them closely. He seems to be interested in them, but now I'm adding live prey. Since there is water in its environment, I launch fish there. and let's see if he can hunt. Over the next few days, he eats all the fish. His body is getting longer, more massive. He's now over 2 feet tall. The next step is to bring him out into the outside world, because soon he will outgrow this reservoir and must get used to the open environment. But he still doesn't know what will happen later when he gets much bigger. He will become the largest creature that humans have ever seen. But first, a bath. It starts to smell quite unpleasant. Now I'm taking him outside and pretending to raise him like a child. I'm taking him to the park, then to the mall, and even to a restaurant. After that, the beach. He goes into the ocean for the first time. He swims pretty well. He gets to know the turtle, then he notices another marine life and decides to eat it. But he can't swim deep yet because of his size and swimming skills. However, it is felt that he will return here again. Now he's hungry. So I bring him home and introduce him to new products. And now we fast forward to a year of its growth, nutrition, and gradual overgrowth of the reservoir. This is what it looks like now. He no longer lives in the tank, and instead sleeps on a human bed. He started eating full-fledged human food. He walks outside, scaring the kids. But unfortunately, it's getting too big to keep at home. The next stage is the zoo. He's being transported there. Even though he got used to the house and grew up here from the very beginning, he needs more space for healthy growth. A huge aviary is being built for him. It has a large swimming pool right next to the glass wall, so that visitors can watch it. There is a spacious land area for movement and a cave in the back, for privacy. He's over 6 feet tall now. Long tail, elongated smooth head, powerful limbs, shiny black shell. This is something that the zoo has never seen before. Crowds of people gather to watch it. The only one who doesn't like it is the gorilla next door, who is angry that no one is paying attention to her anymore. Now he is being fed in large portions. Whole steaks. Whole watermelons, which he chews like candy. But soon, his excessive popularity begins to annoy him. There are too many people crowding around the glass, shouting, demanding that he do something impressive. He gets tired of the constant attention. He can't sleep well because of the noise. He misses his first home where there was peace and quiet, where you could live in peace and get pats on the head. Now no one dares to do that. One day, after being watched by hundreds of people for 24 hours in a row, he decides that he's had enough. He starts hitting the glass and growling at the visitors. The children cry and run away. The zoo's management is not thrilled. They are taking harsh measures. He is removed from the public enclosure, loaded into a truck, and transported to a closed area. He is now in the private sector of the zoo. The aviary is smaller, dirtier, and darker. Almost a single camera, and right next to the dump. His new routine is waking up to the garbage that falls nearby. Walking on a small piece of land where you can barely turn around and swimming in the dirtiest water he's ever seen. After a few days, they even forget to feed him. He starts eating leftovers from the trash. Every night he screams, but no one answers. He becomes sick, lonely, and filled with rage. At one point, he starts destroying the walls of his enclosure. His strength has grown. He breaks through the barriers and breaks out. Chaos begins. He frees other animals, destroys cages, and sows panic. He's over 20 feet tall now. The predators are trying to attack him, but no one can handle him. He turns over cars, collides with elephants, and takes revenge on a gorilla. After destroying the zoo, he heads to the ocean. Now he goes deeper into the water than before, but the military is already aware. He is captured and transported to a military base. He finds himself in a glass chamber. Wires are connected to it. They conduct experiments. They decide to use it as a weapon. They put a control collar on him. They are equipped with additional weapons. And they send them into battle. He destroys tanks, helicopters, everything in his path. He's getting even more aggressive. In a desperate attempt to stop him, powerful charges are dropped. There is a huge explosion, but instead of dying, he becomes even stronger. The collar collapses. He's completely free now. Over the next few weeks, he begins destroying cities. He ignores missiles, shoots down helicopters, demolishes buildings. It's getting bigger and more powerful. And it all started with a small creature that barely fit in the palm of your hand.